Hey guys, Thunder E here, and welcome to another episode of Comic Crunch, episode 14, our new day and time, 10:30 on Thursday, of course. So here we are. We might play around with it still, though. I'm still thinking we might should do it on Sunday. But anyway, today it's Thursday, and next week will be Thursday. And with me is Mr. Lou Rod. How's it going, man?
What up?
All right. So we are live. I just came back from seeing Captain America: Civil War.
Lucky bastard.
I'm not going to say anything. Spoiler review is tomorrow. It's going to be me, Lou Rod. Most likely Warren is going to try and join us. And Beginner's Tech is also joining us from the UK because he's seen it like 3 times already. So we've got enough people who will chew in, break it down, give you some really interesting thoughts on it.
Gee, if once wasn't enough, he's went 3 times.
Exactly. For me, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I have some things I have issues with, some things that I absolutely love. Some people are going to ask me, is this better than BVS? I'm not going to answer that question until tomorrow. Yes, suspense. All right, let's get down with the show for this week. So a couple of things.
That means he wants to sit back, let it soak in, because right now it was better than BVS.
That's not even true.
It is true.
Oh, is that what I said? No, I didn't tell you that. I didn't.
You're thinking it, but you will never admit it.
Okay, you want me to tell you now? No, I'm not going to tell you tomorrow. Okay, let's get down to the story of this week. Starting off, first of all, we had the new images, the first images of Power Rangers. I'm going to share that on my screen here so you guys can see. We had some discussions about this. So, Lou, how about you give us some thoughts on it while I
like I said in our discussion earlier, it looks like the billionaire Tony Stark made these suits.
Yeah, I mean, so I like the suits, right? And this is what they showed us in Entertainment Weekly. Yellow Ranger, black, red, pink, and blue, which, I mean, looks good.
That don't look blue.
Yeah, I know. See, I like all except Blue Ranger. I think blue should have had like either a white center or just so that it gives a contrast, or maybe black. Actually, black, except the center being that whether blue color, whatever it is. But I like it. I like it because you know what? You can't do spandex. Come on, makes no sense.
Oh God, no. I mean, dude, when you guys posted those old pictures, I was like, holy shit, that's right. These were horrible.
So I do like them. Now, I was browsing through quickly before we started, and Screen Rant posted this picture, which now puts a lot of things into perspective. Bam! Now, of course, we see Rita Repulsa here with her outfit, and we see the first images of the Green Ranger. It looks like either she was the Green Ranger, maybe, or maybe Green Ranger. Of course, we do know in the show that Green Ranger comes from her, but you can see how similar the outfits are altogether. So I think it's in a better perspective.
Like John Campia said today on Movie Talk, we can't we could judge it off a picture, but once we see it in full motion and how it's more redefined, I mean, let's be real. Remember how Apocalypse looks when they showed his first pictures?
Yeah, I still don't like the look of Apocalypse.
Well, they were calling him Ivan Ooze the second.
His very first one, was Ivan Ooze. So,
I'll give it a chance. Like I said, once the movie's out, or actually, we'll probably see them in costume in a trailer.
Yeah,
and we'll kind of get close enough idea of how it's really going to look.
Yeah, I will say though, with added special effects on top of the costume and also how it looks in the film, will be different. But I think, you could see the reason why I say that it gives you an idea of why the costumes looks different from the shows is because the way Green Ranger looks to her is almost saying that Green Ranger came from her, right? Like just the look. So that's to give you an idea of why, the other costumes look, different. So that's why I see that. But I mean, like, I think it's okay. It's cool. It's, it's just much, much better. Some other news, which I'm sure you guys will find interesting, is Fox is going to be picked up a comic book called Irredeemable, written by, I believe it was Mark. Is it Mark Waid, if I'm not mistaken? If I can't remember too well. But Irredeemable basically is the story of a character called Platinum Man, and Plutonium, I think. I'll search and get it right for you guys. But basically in the comic, he's basically Superman gone bad, and now all these other superheroes have to go, try and take him down. And he snaps, he basically loses it and becomes bad. So basically, you're talking about a story that is pretty much Man of Steel and BVS as one movie about Superman turning bad. That is what Irredeemable comic book is all about.
Sign me up all day, every day.
Yeah. So, you like the idea?
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see someone wreak havoc on Earth. Besides aliens and robots.
I mean, I've always liked the idea. I always thought it was solid. So, I mean, they're shooting for they might be shooting for a rated R comic here. So that's something that I think will play well in with what Fox has been doing so far. So,
basically, this is kind of like Hancock.
Yeah, it's Hancock, the fear of Man of Steel and BVS with just call it Superman gone snap, because his power type level is exactly the same as Superman. Exactly the same. So he's gone, he in this case he lost it. Something made him lose it. Mark Waid, is definitely the guy who wrote the comic, and he becomes bad. So it'll be interesting to see, especially how, like I said, I just saw Captain America Civil War, and the crowd reaction, and the crowd was very energetic, and that light tone Marvel Disney movies are what everyone loves. The darker DC tone, not so much. So we'll see how Irredeemable does. If it's R-rated, maybe that's where it goes. Like everybody's like, it's cool. That might work. I think that's where they have some room to play there. Let's see. There's some new images and more set stuff from X-Men. I can share that with you guys, as well as also they've been releasing a lot of stuff on Civil War. I don't know why. I mean, the movies are almost out, but this is a new image from X-Men. Nothing crazy. Apocalypse. I don't like this design. I just never did like the design, but I like the coloring is kind of come together. What do you think? Because this movie's out in like 2 weeks, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's really close. So,
and I think they're letting their reviews come out on Monday.
On Monday, yes, on Monday. So we'll see how well that runs. Well, another one which we're all waiting for is Batman: The Killing Joke gets a release date, August 2nd, which we can't wait. Which is what, 3 weeks after Comic-Con or 2 weeks after Comic-Con?
It'll probably be released. That's the Blu-ray release is August 2nd. We'll probably get the digital release 2 weeks before that.
So at Comic-Con probably. But it also means it's 2 days before Suicide Squad. I'm sorry, 3 days before Suicide Squad.
Oh, yeah.
Suicide Squad is August 5th. So we're getting like a double dose of DC, at that time. Kevin Smith is also coming back to star in direct episodes of Arrow. Flash. I apologize, guys. So you guys can definitely expect that. That would be interesting. Any more news before we head up to the show roundups? I'll give you guys some more on Captain America, but I'm not really.
The only exciting news for me is that Star Wars Celebration is in next year in my neck of the woods, April 13th through the 16th, and tickets go on sale.
May 25th. Where is your neck of the woods for people who do not know?
Orlando.
There we go, Orlando. All right, cool.
So if we're lucky, maybe they'll see the Booredatwork crew there.
That might be cool, man. That might be cool.
Behind the scenes photos. We're gonna work on it, guys.
Well, some other news, quick news recap before we leave the news segment. Supergirl may move to CW. Right now, Supergirl has not been renewed for a new season because of the cost, $3 million per episode. So
how much was it per episode?
$3 million per episode.
I thought it was more of the licensing fees that they were bitching about.
No, I think it's the cost of making the show per episode is much higher, and the ratings started dipping towards there. And even though it was getting better, I don't know why, but maybe it was less general audience and more comic book fans like us. So we have that.
Okay, I like the idea. I wanted to come to CW for the fact that it can tie all the worlds better.
Yeah, but it still will not be in the same world as the Flash world, and it will be its own universe no matter what, just because of the fact that they already established that. So it makes no sense to move it away. Another one is Russell Crowe joins the cast of The Mummy as a
Well,
Jekyll
he
and Hyde
hasn't
character.
joined it just yet.
Oh, in talks, sorry, in talks to join the
He's in
cast.
talks
Yes, thank you.
as a Jackal, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type character. That if the movie does well, then he gets the movie to spin off.
Yeah, that's where that's pretty much landing. Deadpool Blu-ray is coming out pretty soon. Definitely check out the commercial. It is very funny. I'll post a link for the commercial
Jesus
in
Christ.
the video. I mean, the marketing for Deadpool has just been hitting strides left and right constantly.
Even the Blu-ray release is getting some good
Yeah,
shit.
and then finally, Marvel confirmed that Captain Marvel will be showing up in Avengers Infinity War, which makes lots of
Oh,
sense.
well, the other news about that is that that's getting retitled.
Oh, Avengers Infinity War is getting retitled. Yeah, so
So
that's
it'll
going to
probably be, you'll probably get Avengers Infinity
Infinity
War
War something.
and
The
then Avengers
beginning,
Infinity
and
Gauntlet.
then yeah, something like that. Yeah. So yeah, before we go into recap, I'm just going to touch on Captain America: Civil War again, because I'm sure a bunch of you are like, yeah, that's why we wanted to jump in here. Civil War was very good. It was a very good movie. It was very entertaining. I can say this now because a lot of people said it. Spider-Man and Black Panther steal the show. I mean, from head to toe, they are the most exciting parts of this movie. I honestly will say that. As you guys have probably heard me before, I wasn't too much of a fan of the voice of Spider-Man, but I'll just say they did a fantastic job there. I'm not going to say anything else other than that was great. Action sequences were very good. And the story was interesting is the word I'll use, because I'll explain that tomorrow more. But join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. for our spoiler-filled review.
What'd you think about May?
Aunt May is, Aunt May looks good. Let's just call it that. But yeah. People are asking about giveaways. We do have giveaways, and we have 2 giveaways on the channel. One's an anime giveaway, and we're giving away a PC. There's no giveaways with this video, guys. I don't think I put that up. Quick question now. Possible Flash directors. Who do you think should be directing Flash? Because I know Heroic Hollywood have put out a couple of people there, but who would you like to see?
Honestly, I don't have no one in mind right now. I have no one at mind for that movie at all. I don't want the Flash.
I do. I want the Flash. I think the Flash is. The Flash is one of the most powerful characters.
Yes, I get it. He can punch someone a billion times in a minute.
He's also one of the funniest characters, other than Deadpool, literally. And Spider-Man. Okay, yeah, it's true.
But he could be funny if he's the right person to bring the funny.
Yeah.
I don't think Ezra Miller is that person to bring the funny.
What movie have you seen Ezra Miller in?
I've seen Ezra Miller in Californication, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's
what
right.
I can remember.
Ezra Miller, I actually remembered him. Even though I watched Californication, I didn't even realize he was there. Was the Amy Schumer movie?
Oh God, Trainwreck?
Yeah, Trainwreck. He played serious. The reason he played serious, but actually found him funny because he was basically trying to do this. He was playing an emo serious guy, and he wasn't even serious at all. And I liked his delivery there because the Flash has to be serious at some points and also has to be funny at some points. And also, again, if DC wants to make their universe bigger and better than Marvel, having that crossover with the TV and also Infinite Worlds has to happen. And there's only one person you can do it with, the Flash.
Before I forget, this is a little news. The young Han Solo has been cast, and he is the guy from Hail Caesar, Alden Ehrenreich.
Oh, where did that just drop?
Yeah, comic book resource.
Oh, wow, really?
This guy.
Hold on one second. I am going to go there and share the news. So, young Han Solo.
Just a day after the director tweeted the blaster on Twitter, now we get the casting news.
Comic Resources website is one of the slowest on the planet. All right, so let me share my page, and here you have it, guys. That is the young Han Solo right there. This is from Deadline. So this is Heinrich is in negotiations for the deal. You know what? This picture is much better. I prefer this one than the other one. It gives me better hope. Yeah. So yeah, he's been cast. It looks like he's been cast. This is from Deadline. So guys, that is your Han Solo. Alden Ehrenreich is Han Solo, and hopefully, it turns out well. I mean, if they play it well, it could be cool just to see him and Chewie. I think they're going to play that where they might want to do more sequels of this. If it works well, because it's Adventures of Chewie and Han Solo. That's what it's going to be. Han Solo.
I don't want that though. I want all the anthology movies to be one-offs.
This is Disney.
That's what they're designed to be.
This is Disney. If this movie makes bank,
I know.
yeah. So yeah, you're gonna have that. You're gonna have that whole premise there of like Han Solo, stuff. So there you have it, guys. You can see your comments too. I'm watching. All right. So there we go. So yeah, I think it's interesting casting. We'll see how he does overall. But yeah, that's it, guys. So moving on to our shows. Game of Thrones, definitely check out our Game of Thrones recap. We do that every Sunday, 10:15 p.m.
Great episode.
Great episode. It was fantastic. We all know now. If you haven't seen it, spoiler, Jon Snow is back.
And don't mind the pedigree.
Yeah. And yeah. And moving on to our first show of the week. So it was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Flash.
What? Oh, Flash. Why do I keep thinking? I don't watch it live.
They're both on the same day. But
yeah, I know.
Flash is first, then S.H.I.E.L.D.
So Flash, what do you think about the Flash episode?
Okay. Flash was fun. Well, not fun, but Flash was okay. I had issues with Barry with the fucking whininess. It's just driving me nuts. We already get that in Arrow. We don't need Barry to do it. And really, they couldn't come up with a better design for Homie because I felt like he was Star-Lord with just a cheap-ass mask.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that outfit.
But he was cool.
He was cool. It was cool. I mean, I liked the episode. I didn't like the melodrama. Look, melodrama is meant for Marvel. Keep it there. And the Arrow. I'm not a fan of that because Flash knows what he needs to do. It's not about is he going to kill. He knows what he needs to do. He needs to go back in. I get it. Maybe because he didn't understand the Speed Force. That's why. But Flash in the comic understands that if he does everything right, the experiment wise, he's just going to tap back into the Speed Force. That's just what it is. So I get that part.
Dude, everything. Look, I'm enjoying the organic chemistry with him and Iris.
Oh yeah, I mean they brought it back to that very innocent nature of season one. Remember the very beginning of season one, where you're like you knew okay, something has to happen.
But now it just doesn't. It's not feeling forced like he was in season one, trying to force it. Now he knows his role, and now she's coming to him with, "I think this is our time."
Yeah, I mean, she said
we're together on Earth too.
I wasn't available then, and she's like, "I'm there." And I love
that was good.
The fact that Zoom was just playing around, man, like snapping all those people's necks, at the coffee shop. And I mean, it was a cool episode. It was cool. I liked
it. It had its moments. I liked it, and I really don't like the fact that Henry comes back and wants to play this father figure. No, fool, you got out of jail, and the first thing you decide to do is go fucking become an axeman. You need to stay your ass up in the country cutting trees.
Yeah,
don't come play daddy now.
Yeah, he was a little touchy there, but I mean, overall, I think it was definitely it was a good episode. But Henry needs to. I mean, I don't blame Henry as a guy. They didn't write it well. They should have had more episodes with Henry, even though he's away, but having more in so that at least it feels like he was trying to get himself, but he was still trying to stay in touch with his son. But we didn't get that.
I asked this question in my other hangout. What's up with Harrison Wells and the whisper voice?
Oh, that's how he is. I think.
I mean, does he? Is that how he act? Like very
No, no,
whispery?
no. Whenever he plays Wells, he acts that way. Whenever he turned into um, Reverse
Reverse.
last season, he changed. That's what he does for Wells. That is Wells for him, I think.
Oh man, it's like I swear I'm thinking of the Yin Yang Twins and the Whisper song.
Yeah, I mean that's what he does. But yeah, Flash was good. I liked it. But hopefully we're moving away from that, and we see how Wally West and Jesse Quick get their
Yes, the ending.
powers. And of course, I'm telling you again, the man in the iron mask is Wally West. Just telling you now, so you don't feel too surprised.
That's your theory, but you're incorrect.
How much money you want to put on it? There you go. See, I thought so. All right, moving
I'll
on to
put $20.
$20. All right, $20 it is. Deal. All right. Moving on to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed it because, again, Marvel has proven that only time they make good villains is on their TV shows. That's pretty much it. Yes. Villain was on point. I mean, I like seeing some of his origin. I wish he didn't feel too rushed. That was the part I didn't like. I wanted to see, like a true villain origin on the TV show. But I thought it was good. What I don't like this is like a Marvel Universe annoyance. The Kree land. Where the hell are the Avengers?
Like Hive said, we have a billionaire in an iron suit and army men made of super soldier serum.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. It's just one of those where you're like, I found the episode to be okay. I'm just tired of this whole I want to rule the world shit. Make everyone like me. I got enough of that on the goddamn 100.
I mean, but it's just, look, it's fine. I'm fine with that. I mean, remember, the guy is the only one of his kind, so I get it. My own thing is just a Marvel continuity and connectivity. It's like, this is actually big. To me, this is a very big world event that is happening in the TV show in the same Marvel universe that no one is talking about. I mean, like, at least have like Nick Fury even show up. He's not an Avenger anymore. I mean, come on.
Or Maria Hill.
It doesn't even matter, man.
She can't show up on a screen like she did last season. Just give us that.
Yeah, it's all right. But I mean, I like the episode. I know it was. I know
the episode was okay. I'm just tired of Daisy and her little "we're a family" crap shit. Oh God, woman. I'm over certain storylines and I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. You keep. I mean, season finale is next week, I believe, or the week after.
The week after.
Okay, so we'll see in the season finale how that plays out. Moving on to Arrow on Wednesday.
Someone just shoot me.
I was hoping for the episode had good elements, and he also had typical Arrow bad elements. The good elements, he shot his brother. I was very happy. I was happy for Diggle to just do it. You know what I mean? Just do it. Even though he was just like, he just got pissed and shot him. Not like he actually shot him. I was like,
I wanted to see where he shot him because it's like, where was the kill shot? Where did you shoot him?
Yeah, I mean, to me, that didn't matter because what it was.
It mattered to me.
Nobody cares.
Because I care. I'm the viewer. The viewer wants to be entertained. And I wasn't entertained by that scene. I was entertained by the scene of Damien Dark catching a goddamn bullet in the air, stopping it, and then flinging it back and shooting the guy in the forehead. That was cool.
I mean, yeah, that was cool. I'm not discounting, but the reason why I guess is I like the girl. I like the fact that that storyline ended, and it ended by Diggle's hand. That was the most important part about that story.
Well, it needed to end by Diggle's hand.
Yeah, and it ended well. Not Diggle trying to save his brother or anything. His brother was beyond saving.
Oh, his brother, he wasn't coming back to the good side.
Exactly. So I like that fact, and what I liked again was the fact that Diggle was like, yes, my brother was gone. Not like maybe I should have saved him. Maybe usually they always do that, right? He actually said, "Yeah, I feel sad, but He wasn't family. That just
And
wasn't
then,
it.
and the other death was awesome. Watching the lady get twisted like a pretzel.
Wow, somebody's on a death path in this.
I love deaths.
This episode.
Oh,
Yeah. So.
oh, dude. Oh, off topic here. Wait till you see when you finally get caught up on Banshee, how they kill the one dude that tormented the sheriff.
Okay.
In season 3, you know how you ruined the sister's death for me? Someone's going to take a shotgun to the face.
All right, cool. Actually, the good part is that I cannot remember who it is, so it does not matter.
When you see that shotgun to the face, you could be like, damn.
Chris says, can they even afford a main character on the show in the movies? It's not necessarily, I mean, it's how they write their contracts, maybe anything else to say, hey, look, you still have to do some things on the TV, like, TV episodes and things like that, which is only one, or I mean, technically it's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for more than anything else. But in terms of like Arrow,
Jackson did it on the cheap. I don't even think they paid him. He just wanted to be in the show.
Yeah, I mean, well, let's just skip that. On the other end with storylines, I like the idea that he was going to go look for magic. I didn't like the idea that she had to follow him. Like, I really wanted him to go there, and even fine, he needed to find the light in him. He should have realized that, okay, yeah, it's my girlfriend that is, but not her being
so
there.
cliche.
And I was like, okay, fine. You know what? I get it.
Oh, Felicity, you're the love of my life.
What I
thought about all the good times we had.
What I did like was the Thea storyline, though. Even though they didn't explain the fact that her boyfriend is either under control or has been working for Dark, and
the whole time.
And I was like, that's cool. Like, Thea's like trying to escape him, and that's the part I didn't like. I liked it, and I didn't like it because the way she tried to escape was like regular Thea, not like the Thea that we've been introduced to the last 2 years.
Like, really, girl, you know how to fight. Why don't you take on the dudes with the guns?
No, I understand.
You got no weapons.
I understand. There's just the way she ran away, like, Meanwhile, normally when she's running, she's like, so I'm like, just because you're not wearing your red outfit, you can't do anything. Is that what it is?
I guess she wants to keep up the double agent.
I guess so. Maybe she was doing that because she's out of costume. So who knows?
I mean, dude. And then, what the hell? They were in the Hunger Games lair.
Yeah, I mean, he wants to destroy the world and bring it back up again. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. And Legends. Arrow needs a revamp of massive proportions. They need to go back and they need to wipe slate clean. And then what I mean is something happens at the end of the season, and and he has to. How about this? He has to chase somebody down, and they go like you know how the flashback was, but he's now going from location to location and meeting, and then he meeting old contacts from the flashback. That would make it more fun again. Like whether it's Constantine or whoever, like all these different like DC characters, smaller characters they bring in, then he can go on those missions and say, hey, I need your help, and they're like,
well, we have cast. Well, it hasn't been casted yet, but we have the direction where they're going for season 5,
which is
a vigilante type villain.
So I guess he has to face that person on a constant basis.
Yeah, he's supposed to be around a lot more next season, from what I read. So hopefully that brings something back. Because honestly, this show, I don't know what happened to Greg Berlanti and crew. Maybe he needs to get his mind out of world building and come back to just a focus on this show. Because how did this season start off so strong and get so weak?
Well, it's just they had I don't know. Just showrunners just didn't have a clear path of what they wanted to do. I think the main storyline of Genesis has been lost. It sounds like a good plan. I'm not even like I like the idea. I've seen that on the work, underground layer. I'm like, that's cool, but they didn't give us enough of that throughout the season.
Yeah, there was no building of that.
Yeah,
that whole plan. 1 minute we see cornfields, thinking we're going to hang out with the children of the corn.
And next minute we find out the cornfield's on the ground. I mean, I get it, but the space in between was too much other melodrama in there. So they need to clear all of that out. We'll see. We didn't watch Legends of Tomorrow this week because, of course, I was watching Captain America: Civil War, and somebody else was doing something.
I was just watching something else.
Yeah. So, sorry about that. We don't have that in the loop of things, but
Sorry, not sorry.
yeah, somebody's in a little uptight mood today.
These shows have gotten. I like Legends, but it's been hit or miss.
Somebody's being a little uptight today. Oh, speaking of shows, I caught up on my own longtime favorite show that started back in the days of Smallville. I'm talking about Supernatural. And this is a spoiler. If you've never watched Supernatural, if you're a fan, God appears on Supernatural. As I have to say, God shows up. And if you're a fan of Supernatural, you know who God is. I'll just tell you that.
Because I heard he's been around.
He's been around for this is 10 seasons. He showed up and we I think he's God. And there's so many fan thingies. And then when he shows up, you're like, really, dude? God has been around for a while. So it was cool to see that. It was nice to see that in the show.
But we do have casting news on Legends.
Well, yeah, two characters. One is a
male and a female.
Yeah.
And one is going to be a military type figure from the 40s.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. One's a Black American female, and then one's a white male. Charles says, in Chuck we trust. We saw Chris Hemsworth go ham when asked Team Cap or Team Iron Man. Yeah, I mean, they didn't call him. They didn't invite him for that, so we'll see. But
because he doesn't bring the balance. He whatever team he would have been on, not a fair fight.
The problem is, he and Hulk. I suspect what team they would go to, and they would go one-sided to one team, and it just won't. It would just be too much, too imbalance in there. But yeah, it was. But yeah, that's it. That's it for this week, guys. Join us tomorrow, 7 p.m. We will be giving our spoiler review of Captain America: Civil War. So you guys can do that. Oh, I didn't even mention Flash Directors. I apologize. I was going to allude to it, and then I just completely forgot because we started talking about something else. I can't remember. But I'll give you the rundown first of what Heroic Hollywood, and I'll tell you who I want. Just because this is interesting. The first director is Scott Wag. I'll share my screen so you guys can see what he said. Yeah. And he directed Act of Valor and Need for Speed. I don't know. I'm not too keen on that. Next one is Justin Lin. That's not a bad idea. I mean,
ain't he busy?
Yeah, that's the problem though. He's doing He's supposedly signed on Space Jam, which is a Warner Brothers property.
And ain't he doing the Robotech one, or is that the other one?
No, that's Aquaman. He's doing Aquaman. He's doing that after Aquaman. But this might not be bad because it's true though. Because if he's going to be signed on to do Space Jam, and he's done all the other Fast and Furious movies. This might something you might show him and say, "Hey, what do you think?" I can see that happening. Doug Liman is another good choice. Actually, I agree. The Bourne Identity, Edge of Tomorrow. I loved Edge of Tomorrow. Jumper, not so much, but I liked Edge of Tomorrow was his most recent movie. So, and since he's not doing Gambit, and we know Gambit ain't happening. you might as well take something else. We know Flash is happening, Gambit is not happening. Next up is Guy Ritchie. This guy is a standard studio guy, but I don't think it's going to happen because he is directing his next movie, Sherlock Holmes Part 3. So that Flash is not going to happen because Sherlock Holmes is coming out the same year as Flash also. So I don't think that will happen. And the last one is Edgar Wright, who everybody loves.
Ain't gonna happen.
And it's not gonna happen per se, but his writing style is dark humor per se a little bit, and also his style is a little darker, which kind of fits the DC universe and not Marvel. So
yeah, but since he's a producer on Ant-Man, it won't happen.
Yeah, since he's a producer on Ant-Man, unless though, I mean, DC could drive a hard bargain and be like, you know what, we'll give you 3 movies to produce. How about that? Okay, you get to produce Flash, one other movie, and then we'll put you as Justice League 2 executive producer. That's a good payday, man. That's a good payday any day of the week. So, I mean, but yeah, I agree with the last three. The first two, not so much in terms of directors there for the Flash. But like I said, it all depends on script and what they have. Chris Master, Supergirl, thoughts in the next discussion based on the success of 101. What is the possibility of Supergirl showing up? Sleep on it. You mean like in the movies? I don't think so. No,
I don't see it.
that world is just too much superpower. Like, I'll put it this way: after just watching Captain America: Civil War, and you watch BVS, I really understand why they are. I mean, I've always understood. I understand the fear of why Superman. They are afraid of Superman. His destruction level from a punch is more than anything that I saw.
But the problem with the Supergirl is she's already on Earth, and she could have already died because they did that prequel comic, which is part of the continuity to it.
Yeah, they didn't want to have Supergirl in this universe, and I think it's fine not to have her, but I think it is fantastic to have her. Like think of it this way: say CW moves Supergirl to CW, right? And she's still in a different Earth, but I think from that point, they will try and build their own mini Justice League on there. Definitely will try and do that. That would make a lot of sense. But if they do it, because they can have the Justice League and have their big event that has nothing affect the movie, but the Flash movie, what if they cross over, something happens and they literally cross over and Superman sees his cousin? That would just be like it's like, I don't have a cousin. It's like, my name is Kara Zor-El and you are my cousin, and there's another Superman over there, but he can't show up because, of course, we can't show him. But, I mean, that's where you now have so many different storylines. You can do so many different things.
And you watch.
Yeah.
If the movies do well and they get ready to probably do like a reboot, you're going to have the TV Flash crossover into movie to set that universe off.
No, it's not even reboot. He will. I guarantee you. I almost guarantee you that he will cross over in the Flash movie. At the end, I think he will cross over at the end of that movie.
It would probably be a sequel or
either for the sequel, but he will cross over in the sense where it's like either like an end credit crossover type thing that they can easily explore in a sequel, or I guess they're going to explore it, Titans movie. Because that would just be a better blend with Cyborg moving that all over in there. Like, you just combine that all in together. That could be something where you can do that. But there are many possibilities with it. To me, I like that idea because you can do so many different things. And you don't have to keep doing sequels. Because you remember when Flash showed up in Supergirl's world, had nothing to do with Flash whatsoever at all. All his problems were left on his world completely. And he had to help Supergirl do all this and do that and do this and do that. I can see a Justice League 2 where, like, in the part 2, where Darkseid is really screwing him up. He's like, I need more speed. Flash is like, I got this. I'm coming back. And next minute, you see both of them just, like, arrive on screen. Everybody's like, I'll explain after we're done. Let's just do this at this point. That would just be like, okay, yes, now you've shown us that your whole world is completely different from, Marvel, where it's like sequel on top of sequel on top of sequel. You're here, you're just mixing in stories left and right. And we're waiting for Lou to say something else.
I was reading the comments.
Chris says, Man of Steel, wasn't there some pod in the ship? Thought there was some discussion that her pod was on the ship. Yeah, Supergirl, Kara Zor-El was on that ship, but she is basically Superman's grand auntie, right? So grand cousin, I guess you would call it, something like that. So she's just not in this timeline. Jackie, hey, how's it going? She says, would it be better for someone else to direct Justice League Part 2?
Yes.
It definitely would be someone else.
I'm burnt out on Snyder.
I think I'm not burnt out on Snyder. I think all the hate has come in.
It's not the hate, but I don't have no hate for the man. I enjoyed Watchmen. I enjoyed Man of Steel. I enjoyed BVS, but honestly, you just did two big blockbusters, and they both didn't pan out the way the studios wanted. It's time for them to move into a different direction. He started the world. Leave him on as a storyteller and a writer, built and producer, but let someone else direct everything else.
Joe, I don't think Christopher Nolan won't touch it. He doesn't want to do any comic book.
And he's like Hans Zimmer. He
Yeah,
retired from the game.
he's retired from that. You know, I mean, you know why, bro? I think part of it is that he's probably afraid that, you know what, I'm gonna just leave on a high note, man. I'm just going out like that and not come back. I mean, same thing with Hans Zimmer. Like, whatever you want to talk about BVS, that BVS score is on point. So he's like, you know what, my music was good. I'm out.
Same thing with Christopher Nolan. He's like, all right, I made $1 billion with the second movie. The third one did pretty good too. I'm done.
Yeah. So, but I do agree. Another director come in for all those different roles. I think it's fine. You know, we'll see. I think what it is with, to me, I look at it this way. Snyder knows he has to, even forget anything that he, as a director, knows he has to do well with Justice League. Now, whether people will accept it or not is two different cases then, but this is the world we live in, right? Right now, Civil War is going to hit, and it's going to hit big. And then after that, we're going to see X-Men, which will still actually come up second behind Civil War. I almost have a feeling that Civil War might almost beat it that weekend. I'm just throwing that out there, or barely catch up close. But then, come Comic-Con, all those fears are going to dissipate. Trust, in the sense of you're going to start seeing stuff that would take your mind away. One of them is Wonder Woman. Another one is Suicide Squad, because by Comic-Con, you're either seeing reviews or they might show it at Comic-Con. Like, if they were wise, you drop it at Comic-Con, take everybody's mind. Everybody's like, yeah! And then we see a Justice League trailer. And then everybody goes, oh, wow, this is completely different look or feel to it, you know? Because that's what it's all about, marketing and hype to take the feel away of something, right? You know, what's a good movie example where, okay, like even Days of Future Past. The first time I heard about it, I was like, it's stupid. I didn't like it, this and that. And then when you start seeing, when the trailer started dropping, and remember when we saw Quicksilver, right?
Everybody talk shit.
I was one of them. I was like, it's garbage. And then who is the best Quicksilver? The one in Days of Future Past. They did a fantastic job. So
yeah, not the one getting shot by bullets.
Yeah, remember the one? Everyone's like, somebody was like, you know, you're the one who's like, oh, he was slowing down. I'm like, yeah. Quicksilver in Days of Future Past looked at everybody shooting bullets. It's like, that bullet is so slow, really slow. And I'm like, come on.
Yeah. You know what kind of threw me off with the one in Age of Ultron was the accent.
Yeah, that is the thing. Those accents, no, they have accents. They are.
I know they do.
Yeah. The problem is that it wasn't done well. So I just don't do it if you can't do well. It's fine.
Seriously, Chris Evans didn't do one. He just played the role normal.
No, but Chris Evans is Captain America, though.
Not that one. Evan Peters, whatever the heck, they don't remember names.
Oh, yeah. Evan Peters, yeah. I mean, but it's because they didn't want to do that. Remember, they kind of separated that world away, you know. And you remember he lived in New York or somewhere in the U.S. anyway at that point. So it's very different in that sense. But I will say, though, like, it's just one of those things where you know, just a different take. Yes, it will definitely make sense. And I agree, you know, they need to have their Feige type personality in there, or Feige's. I think what it is that this is where I think where the beef is with Snyder, not necessarily changing Justice League. I think the beef is with him, because remember, he's the one who created this universe. They want to replace him. That's probably where it is. If they were smart, you don't do that. I think you sit down, you say, okay, look, Snyder, I'm sorry. You don't have full control anymore. Right? But what you do have
the way it seems with BVS, they took some of that control back by all the crazy
on the directing side, yeah. On the directing side. So that's why I said, like, they need to have one or two people say, hey, look, okay, fine. You know what? Jeff Johns is going to be our pure, you know what? This is what you should do here. This is what you should do here. This should do here. We like your general idea, Schneider. And here's the guy who does the management side of things instead. Because to find someone like Feige is very hard. To find one individual, it's not. So you can't just replace it with one person. If it doesn't work that way for your team, make a team. Make a team of its own. Let it happen. So that when Schneider is doing his own movie, somebody else can go, look, you know what? We just came back from looking at Flash. We like this. We didn't like this. You know what? I'm thinking we should change that. We told the director, you know, what are your thoughts? You know, but as a team, you know, we're deciding to do this vote. So even at the end, like, if I'm Zach, I'm not the one who's going to get blamed for Flash. Say if Flash didn't do as well because I'm like, look, I suggested this, didn't happen.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. So
it'll be sad if Suicide Squad makes more money than BVS.
I think Suicide Squad would make about like, I think it's going to be one of those things where it's like 835, 857. You're going to be looking at that. But I think what it is also, as I said from the very beginning, is that Suicide Squad BVS had the most hate of any movie possible. And I'm not talking about conspiracy. I'm hearing from the very beginning already, you're like, Ben Affleck cast, so much hate. Wonder Woman cast, so much hate. I mean, people loved them in the movie, and then every little thing, it was comparison. I'll put it this way, right? From the very beginning of Civil War, it's not a spoiler, 10 people died, were killed from the very beginning. Nobody bats an eye. Nobody does, because the style is different, but those people died. Sam was counting, not even me. Sam was like 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's putting in perspective how the mentalities are, per se. So everyone is like, they call Batman Superman universe Murderverse. They call this one something else. So yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a misunderstood movie of all time, but I agree it needs fresh eyes. No, it's definitely true. But I want Snyder to finish
what the thing is.
His trilogy. I want him to finish.
Probably good. They changed the movie up so much that it just didn't flow right.
Yeah, no. Some of the scenes are not in order, even too.
So watch when we watch this 3-hour and 20-minute cut,
with this
July 16th, and we're gonna all be like, "Well, goddamn, this is the version they should have put in the theater because everything flowed so much better."
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen this in movies before where the directors had to cut down in the editing room so much. Dude, Lord of the Rings is the perfect example. I get why they cut the scenes out, but when you watch the extended version of all those movies, you're like, damn, this makes this movie look so much better.
It's a full day of watching. If you start at 8 a.m., you'd be done by maybe about 10 p.m. or so. Depends.
That's if you're doing all 6.
No, just the first 3. I'm not talking about the last. Just Lord of the Rings, not Hobbits.
If you do the Lord of the Rings, 3, 8
a.m. to 10 p.m.
You'd be done a little bit before. Well, yeah, because you got bathroom breaks and got to eat.
All that stuff. Yeah. Chris says, now that Colossus showed up in Deadpool, do you think will he be more visible in the X-Men movie? I think we'll see how Fox plays out that universe. I think you will see more Colossus, definitely. Because he was well received.
He was well received. I thought he was enjoyable, but the problem falls is, what will Bryan Singer do? That should be a new thing.
I think the Deadpool guys will use Colossus more in that, or even in X-Force too. I mean, he's not really a member of X-Force, but I think they can always throw him in there because he's one of those characters that, again, remember,
he's the muscle.
He's the muscle. He's cheaper, and also, he just worked. He worked well, so you might as well throw him in there. Might as well throw him in there. Yes. So I think it's just one of those things. Like I said, we'll see how everything pans out this year. With it, we have a few more comic book movies. In terms of Doctor Strange, Suicide Squad, X-Men, and how that all plays all together. But yeah, join us tomorrow, as I said earlier again, our spoiler review. And yeah, thank you very much. Subscribe to the channel and enjoy.
Boom.